Good evening and welcome to the shit show. I'm just kidding.
No. I got one better. Good evening and welcome to In the Gorilla Position After Dark. I am your host, the Pleat Father.
Oh God, we talked about this yesterday, Kilt. We talked about this yesterday.
We gotta get that old school like rainbow filter because we don't pay for the channel thing, so we only see what's behind. Like glimpses of it.
Oh Lord,
Mikey, you dropped the first swear word within 30-40 seconds. Mikey, you must be feeling spicy today.
I'm feeling spicy. The chest hair is out. It is hot as hell.
I know we're like it's 100 degrees here in California.
Right. I'm calmly mad as hell. I have some issues with night 1 and 2 with certain things, but I'm not gonna lie. Night 2 is on track to be up there with Evolution and y'all in Texas earning itself in the A- rank of report cards.
There was some great stuff night 2. There really was.
And then the ending pushed it down to a B+ because I was going to give it just a straight B. But then I was that's not fair to everybody that put in the work on night 2.
I thought we gave it a B-.
I hadn't thought about it, but I was like, taking what happened at the end, I feel that, at least for me, and the general consensus, and then I made sure to talk to my friend Uriel about this too. I think, despite, when we get to night 2 about a certain cage match, I think every single match in night 2 hit what needed to be hit. I will say maybe order could have been different, but night 2 definitely blew night 1 out of the water, which we're also going to talk about at the very end of this. I was like, because with news coming out that WWE is playing with the idea with all their Big 4/Big 5 pay-per-views official, potentially going to 2 nights. I was like, is it needed? We'll talk about that later.
We got a lot to talk about, so we're gonna jump in. I'll save all the commentary for all of these things. There were miscues, and we'll talk about where those were. the booking and order of things really put a gear shift into a lot of wrestlers' heads. So it was like the first 90 seconds of each match was a, what are we doing? Where are we? What are we doing? Am I crazy? Did anyone else feel that sort of like, and we're here? And it's like they forgot everything they talked about. And then
I feel like that was more. Yeah, I feel like that was more prevalent in night 1 for a lot of matches, and especially night 2. I feel like that's what happened with the cage match, because I feel like also the fact that it felt like that cage match was rushed, because there, for whatever reason, we'll get into all of that. Because Big Jim, I love you, but you did not even the odds.
Like the cameras were off. Like
the camera was so bad.
They were missing huge plot points throughout both nights. We're talking both nights really quick, but there was some stage managers would be going crazy throughout the world.
I mean, I was.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh my god, oh yeah. But
there was one really good shot, and it was the cage match, and it was when Jimmy kicked JC Mateo in the face, and it literally, the camera followed the foot.
But then they missed 3 other things.
Yeah, that one
that they shouldn't have missed in that cage match.
That was crazy.
I won't disagree.
No, yeah, like that one camera. There was one guy on the floor who was close to the announce table who was killing it. Everyone else was like, "What are you doing?"
Right. So
we're salty. We're feeling it. Go, Mikey.
So we are going to be talking about both nights of SummerSlam in this review, so we're going to kind of keep it concise. And to nobody's surprise, we are going to talk about the return of a certain wrestler at the very end of the show as well. We're going to say, I'm just going to forewarn this right now. I'm not even going to put up the thing because I'm like, we usually do it as a joke or like semi-spicy. No. So I am going to, when we talk about things, especially with the implications of Brock Lesnar returning, which, you know, spoiler, if you've been living under the rock over the last 24 hours, and him with all of this, just so everyone is aware, I am in a very zen place. My feelings, I feel like, have been processed and have been channeled and reflected upon. But I am going to say this. If you end up staying for the whole review when we talk about the Brock Lesnar, this is not hyperbole. This will happen. If you are disrespectful, if you troll, if you're going to be a clown, I'm going to treat you like one and you will be blocked, banned immediately. I ain't got the time. I ain't got the resolve, and I ain't got, you know, the entertainment factor to entertain you clowns. So if you're going to play stupid games, you're going to get stupid prizes from me tonight. So I am not the one this evening. I'm just going to put it right there now.
This is spicier than Spicy Mikey. Like, this was... I remember Spicy Mikey back in the day. This is more FAFL Mikey. I haven't seen FAFO Mikey. This is great. I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be excited. Listen, I may have found God in Jesus long time ago, but that don't mean that... Listen, even Jesus threw hands with people, and out of love, I'm going to throw hands verbally towards you.
Jesus flipped a table at a bake sale at his church. Like, Jesus didn't play.
Yeah, he ripped people. You know, he's kinky like that.
He was angry.
So please be respectful. I vibe with all types of people, but if you're going to troll and you're going to be a turd, you will win. Again, play stupid games, you'll win stupid prizes. But before we get into all of that, keeping it short for the introduction, we are on YouTube and Twitch and Kick, so follow us on whatever preferred site you want. We also, if you can't commit to a full-length video watch session, you can follow us on the social medias where we do the report cards and the clips and all the fun stuff. I would like to shout out Andrew, our GCW correspondent, because homeboy was throwing it down this weekend with the GCW and independent scene, covering both all the GCW events and the JCW Jersey Championship Wrestling. And him and his friend are about to, in 2 weeks, foray into the world of GCW and Juggalo Championship Wrestling with the 2-day war. And of course, the hosts have seen the thumbnails for those videos. I have no shame and no dignity to make sure we get these things out.
Has Andrew told you his ICP history? Did he break that down for you?
He gave me a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to hear more of it when we do the reaction videos for night 1 and night 2 of the 2-day war.
You're going to hear about the 2000, 2001 Andrew, where he was a different type of man.
Yeah. Shout out to Brayden, who is apparently giving us info about what's going on right now on Monday Night Raw, which I'm probably going to end up watching after we're done here. So appreciate you keeping us informed. Braden,
man.
I am not a person who cares about spoilers, so if you tell us what's going on and give us the play-by-play, I appreciate you.
Keep us posted, man.
Yeah, if anything is happening, but yeah, Rusev versus Sheamus should be interesting. But we also have some merchandise if that is your fancy and you want to support us financially and rock some cool designs at the same time. You can find all our merchandise at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. I just posted a link in the chat for everyone, so that should be a lot of fun. We have merch that ranges from all of our review teams, both in the US and the international stuff, so this was crazy. And then we also have merch with some good causes. We have our summer collection. We have our pride collection where we donate part of the proceeds to Point of Pride. And then, of course, we have our Don't Tap Out collection, which is our anti-fascism, establishment, anti-everything. And part of the proceeds of that collection gets donated to the California Youth Immigration Justice Fund, which helps kids and teens and young adults financially and legally in terms of anything related to immigration issues, whether they are, been born here or being threatened with deportation, if families getting separated, all that good stuff. Why am I not surprised that Monday Night Raw, it wouldn't be a Raw without a count out. So, we'll discuss that on Sunday. But without further ado, we are here to review SummerSlam. We're going to cover nights 1 and night 2, so we're going to keep it kind of brisk and try to keep it in between an hour and 15, because I want to dedicate.
That's our goal? Okay.
Well, I feel like night 1 will be easier to get through because night 1 had some fun stuff, but it was very okay. And I'm going to give my summary at the end of this. But we kicked night 1 off on Saturday with our opener match, which was Mr. Yeet himself, main event Jey Uso and Roman Reigns taking on the Brawns. So Big Bronson Reed and Braun's Breaker. As soon as I realized that this match was opening, and we talked about it during our Go Home edition when we did the predictions for SummerSlam 2, I was just like, because I even said it, depending on the order of matches, as soon as I saw this match opening, I was like, I already know what's going to happen at the end of our main event of Gunther and CM Punk. Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
You and Nick went full Nostradamus on this one for sure. I was kind of back and forth, like, yeah, that could happen. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And of course, that's why I picked the way I picked, and I still got the pick. Okay, a few things. I know we're trying to get this to an hour and 15 minutes. Braun and Roman forget how strong they really are.
For real.
Roman jumping and basically missing both of them over the not
there
even
was
close.
A lot of missing almost scorpion spots in this match, like Bronson Reed also doing that too. I'm like, my goodness.
Braun, so the chicken fight bulldog thing was amazing. I'm pretty sure that's where Braun blew out his knee, because he comes down right on it, boom, and bounces up and then gets to standing, and you see him freeze for a second, that was my knee. Yeah, man, you were 20 feet in the air. I
was like, of course. I was like, listen, we can't be getting hurt. We're already running through a roster that injuries have kind of scrambled a lot of some of the SummerSlam plans, but I thought this was a fun way to start. I didn't dislike this match. I do like I was saying, every single match had that 90 seconds in the top, right? Where it was sort of like, what are we doing? Where are we? And this one obviously had that because it kicked off the thing. Bronson Reed yelling tsunami just because is adorable. We love it.
Just tsunami. And I forget, and I'm always reminded in these PLEs that they're performing for a stadium, so they know there's 50,000 versus on a Raw or a SmackDown, which is 10, 12, 13, right? A different sized arena, a different thing. So they're
absolutely
a little bigger, forgetting the camera's right there. So I get it, but I had a few laugh out loud moments, like, wow, you're just gonna do that, huh? Okay, cool.
Fantastic. This was a fun opener. I think this is also a really strong opener. Miss Jey Uso and Roman Reigns do get the victory here over the Brawns. I love that Paul Heyman is still in possession of Roman Reigns' shoes.
That was so funny. That was so good. What they call it? They called it something other than the Ulafala. What'd they say?
Oh my gosh, what
it was the Shulafala.
Shulafala. I was like, man, even people who normally get offended are still like, okay, that's funny. Like they gave them a little space on that one. Oh, I thought this was the theater you needed to start the night because it bookends the whole thing, like we talked about. Had no issues with other than the first 90 seconds or so, but the pacing of this I thought was fine. I'm interested in the injury. I'm wondering how bad it was because he was wrapped up by the end of the night. So I hope that Braun's okay because he's just stupid talented. Like, oh my God.
He was escorted backstage by one of the medical team.
Yeah.
I saw it on TikTok later on Sunday. And then he came back out, I think,
Saturday with
everything wrapped up. I'm like, yeah, he messed up. His injuries for real. I think Seth's was a little bit not so much.
Yeah,
we'll get into that when we talk about what in our main event and all that nonsense too. Because I was like, really? Okay. Well, again, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns pick up the victory here. We move on to our second match of night one, which was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. We have, the Judgment Day girls, also Los Cholitas, as I call them, especially Raquel. I love Raquel so much. I was like, yes, give me Chola realness. I'm here for it. The Chola realness is everything. I love it. And we'll talk about this too. Outside of Naomi in night two, and I mean Cody coming up from the Cody Vader, as we call it, with his entrance and everything, very subdued. There wasn't anything crazy over the top stuff. I know this is not Mania for entrances, but I was like, damn, y'all, we ain't gonna do. All right, well, anyways. So we have the Judgment Day girls taking on We're Not Friends, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair.
Yes, we're not friends, but we're sisters.
Essentially. Well, especially towards the tail end when Charlotte pulls Alexis's hair and they start fighting like sisters, but then they hug. So I was just like, again, this was another fun match. Again, I agree with you, Professor. First 90 seconds, it's like, all right, we're here. Let's figure out what we're doing. Very surprised to see Roxanne do a lot of the offense in this match. She was beating up on everybody, and she didn't care.
Was just going to say that. They kind of let Roxanne go here. She was laying in really hard. Some of the shots that she was she hit Charlotte once with something. I can't remember. I'll pull up the replay. But I was like, oh, my God. You went up and got it. That looked like it hurt. Charlotte came out and said she's not used to being cheered. She's used to being booed. And the crowd was all in on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. So this face Charlotte thing that we've been creating kind of sort of works. I feel bad that Roxanne and Raquel kind of got transitional champions. That makes me sad. I would have liked to see them run a little bit more. I get it because Liv's hurt. I get that why we're doing this, and they gave him a little bit of run, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only because I picked them. I'm just saying I would have liked to see a little bit more out of that. I think it's fun. I think now they have someplace to go. They have something to do. I'll try and find it here. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So first and foremost, going to acknowledge friend to the channel, Nick, as he's popping in to watch us. Hi, Nick. We love you.
What's up, man?
Nick.
So, again, I thought this was a really fun match. I do agree with you, Professor, in the sense that I feel like since WrestleMania, Charlotte needed to figure out and creative needed to figure out what to do with Charlotte because that build with her and Tiffy was absolute garbage, as we talked about during the main event. And yes, I agree, Nick. This is probably the best that I've seen Roxanne hit her Pop Rocks finisher, especially on somebody as tall as Charlotte, which was crazy to watch. And then, of course, we were teased a little bit because Alexa, at one point towards the tail end, was going to hit Roxanne, but Raquel pulled Roxanne out of the way, and she accidentally smacked Charlotte Flair, and she's like, oh, no. And then, of course, at the end, camera put it perfectly, where Charlotte is looking menacing in the back corner with, she shakes her head. She runs towards what looks to be Alexis to give her a big boot to the back of the head, but she big boots Raquel, which would allow Alexa to pick up the victory. And your winner and new Women's Tag Team Champions, We're Not Friends, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. again, I had no issues with this. This was fun. I had a great time with this. This was good. And honestly, this was
It was fun.
Nick is like bad booking.
Because again, like I was saying, the bad booking thing for me is I would have liked to see them get a little bit more run in it. I would have liked to have seen Alexa Bliss and Charlotte have the fight to be friends or fight to be close thing. We kind of got that in the match though, which doesn't make up for it, but it was there. I don't know where they go now. We're friends, we're not friends. We're friends, we're not friends. Thing you can't now. You're the champions. Like you're not going to work together as champions. I feel bad for Raquel because I'm like, where are you going to go? What are you going to do with Raquel? No.
Raquel, I feel so bad for her. Like she's always holding it down, and she always ends up rolling with whatever because she's always ended up in tag teams where somebody gets hurt, whether it's her or for the tag team partner. What I'm interested to see though is that how this plays into with the rest of the Judgment Day, because I mean, spoiler alert if you didn't watch SummerSlam, the girls have lost the gold, and the boys right now are the only ones in Judgment Day who are holding said gold. So we shall see. And Nick, I know you brought up bad booking, so I mean, I could see where you're coming from. And you know what? Again, I vibe with everyone, but 4-2 is all I will say, Nick. 4-2 for night one. Anywho,
my picks, I got hosed, man.
I'm literally even on night one.
We're gonna talk about it at the very end because I have the graphic.
I picked the wild ones though. I picked the crazy ones, but man,
I was just like, this is wild. But again, we have new tag team champs. They're gonna address Raw tonight, so we'll see where this goes. Because I'm pretty sure we probably get a rematch at Clash in Paris, which is happening in 3 weeks. But we'll discuss that and all that on Sunday when we get through Raw and SmackDown. Okay, this hurts for me to say this. So we got to talk about Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. I briefly mentioned this when I went on Nick's show on Sunday before our watch along. For me, I feel like I still really like this match. I think the in-ring work was pretty solid. But again, I feel that this was solid for a Monday Night Raw, but this is a pay-per-view, so we were missing some oomph to this, in my opinion. And it's not just because Karrion Kross is also Puerto Rican. Shout out to the Boricua. Sammy can afford to take a loss. I don't understand. I feel like Sammy didn't need to win here. I'm gonna be so for real. I picked Sammy and I got the point. But I feel that Karrion should have won here. I don't know what we're doing with either one of these two now. And then, of course, is Karrion going to is he going to still be here? Is he going to leave? Are they not going to renew his contract? Like, I just feel so bad for Karrion. And that's the sad thing is that's my biggest talking point from this match. Because other than that, I'm like, we could have had a street fight. You could have had no disqualification. Like, what's T? I was like, I just felt so bad. This for night one, this was my least favorite match of night one for sure.
And like you said, it's not even I would say it's not their fault, right? This is again the booking kind of led them astray. We threw this together quickly. The right decision was Karrion Kross, and I broke my own rule. If it makes sense, they're not going to do it. It made sense to make Karrion give him some weight and give him the push, and he's earning it. And they're just going, no. I don't know if what's going on in the locker room or if politics are involved in this. I would not be surprised if Karrion Kross ends up anywhere else. I know Tony Khan has said he's not taking WWE talent anymore, and that's probably true, and that's fine. But Karrion Kross over doing Bloodsport over GCW, my God.
Listen, Karrion and GCW would kind of slap.
Go over there with your black belt in jiu-jitsu and your MMA record and just wreck house for a while. Karrion, you could be a demon over there. Or anywhere else, I know there's a whole thing. There's a lot of people talking about his contract and the stuff that's going on. At some point, I really wanted to see heel Sammy here. I said this on Nick's show too. I was saying it in the chat. This was a chance to get heel Sammy. The pipe gets thrown to him. He thinks about it. He chooses not to. Again, he's the Canadian hero. Fine. We could have gotten crazy heel psycho Sammy. And he would have had more to do. And now you got the heel turning heel on the heel out of nowhere. That would make me want to watch. That would be interesting. But they kind of played it safe. Fine. You kind of Barry carrying Cross sucks. Again, the match itself, I had no problem, but this was a Monday Night Raw. This was a SmackDown. This was a Saturday Night main event, right? That's tough. And Sammy keep using the Blue Thunder Bomb to no effect is still hysterical to me. So
yeah, it's like, all right, well, yeah, I have nothing else to say. I just feel really bad. So, but we got to move on though. Sami Zayn picks up the victory here for over Karrion. We shall see what awaits both of our fellows down the line as we get ready towards our final big four of the year in Survivor Series. So let's see where the next. Well, let's get through Clash of Paris to see what happens. Okay, so we have reached the point where we're going to kind of be splitting hairs with this. So we are now getting into our fourth match of the evening, which was for the Women's Championship. This is the Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton defending her title against the Queen of the Ring winner, Jade Cargill. Where do I want to start?
go ahead, Mikey. Where do you want to start?
So, okay, here's the thing, right? I'm going to take a different approach because I've seen a lot of people say that this match didn't do anything for either woman, and I kind of somewhat agree. However, I'm not going to go as far to say that both of them are horrible. So here's what I'll say. I think we can all agree that Tiffy did a lot of the carrying for this match. Tiffy was the one to do the communicating and to kind of get her and Jade in positions where they need be. However, regardless of whose fault it was, whether it was Tiffy's or Jade's, there were parts of this match that got a little sloppy in terms of certain things. But I really do like that Tiffany has started to kind of start learning the skill set of being the ring general, so to speak. And you know what? The fact that she was able to kind of help Jade through certain parts of it, despite it being sloppy, I think is a good step in the right direction. I said this during the live stream. I think despite the hiccups, I feel like this is probably Jade's strongest outing so far since now being a single star in WWE. I do appreciate that she added another finisher to her repertoire, so it's no longer just the Jaded, but the Eye of the Storm as a finisher is also really cool, but does need a little bit of work. I will also say, and this, I hate to say this, I feel like WWE now has kind of like lost faith or has abandoned the idea of having Jade be like her AEW version of herself here in WWE, because hopefully I'm wrong, but I can already tell us, it's like, I would not be surprised if we don't see Jade for a little bit. And I was like, that's not fair to Jade. I was just like, I blame WWE because I've been saying this all the time. Like, regardless, we're past the point where she needs the extra work. I feel that I feel like Jade should not have skipped NXT, and I've always stood by that statement. Even if it was only for a year, Jade should just own in on what she learned in AEW and start working. And she did okay when she was with Bianca, but being on her own and everything, I was like, it just sucks that it's not Jade's fault. I was like, y'all pushed her and you didn't give her the tools to succeed, in my opinion. I think that's the best way to describe it. They literally threw her out into the ocean, gave her like an inflatable floaty raft and like an inflatable oar and told her, here, learn, row back to shore. But they didn't teach her any of the skill set, like how to survive, how to read, the wind current, all that stuff. They literally put her on stage, but they didn't give her a script or told her what her motivation was for her character. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jade plateaued when she was working with Bianca, and she hasn't worked to. And again, I'm a bald guy sitting at home, so it's hard for me to talk about the athleticism, and she's a professional and I'm not. So I'm not trying to be a pundit necessarily. I feel like she's just plateaued and she hasn't worked to get out of that, if that makes sense. She's added a finisher. Great. She added a finisher. We were talking about maybe adding a finisher a year ago. Tiffany is literally telling her what to do this whole match. And that's not a bad sign. It's not a good sign either. You want folks working together. And Tiffany's literally in her ear, boom, boom, this, boom, boom, that, lots of things. Nothing was unsafe. Nothing was clunky. But if you watch these matches, you can see this was off, that was off. This was that, this was that. Jade also kind of stopped selling about halfway through this. Tiffany was hitting her hard, and Jade just kind of stood there and wouldn't even whip the hair around, just kind of took it. I will say, Jade lifting her legs after the prettiest moonsault was terrifying and devastating, and that looked super cool, but that was kind of on Tiffany selling it. I'm a little bummed they got 7 minutes, but then again, I don't know if they should have gotten more than 7 minutes for what we were seeing, right? Like they were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they were struggling. They were not working well together. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. They were just not quite on the same page.
Yeah, the chemistry was lacking for a good chunk of this. For I would say actually the majority of this match, they were able. I'll put it this way: I think they were able to connect to certain sequences, but the flow of it was very clunky. It was like very start, stop. Okay, let's go over here. Do this sequence. Now we got to go over here.
The ending was very. It's over. Like there was no
out of nowhere. Literally, I was like, okay, well, I mean. Tiffany retains. Poor Tiffany, man. Like, since coming out of WrestleMania with Charlotte, like, Tiffany has kind of had a rough go of who her opponents are. I mean, we revisited Nia Jax leading into Night of Champions, which I was like, why are we doing this again? And then Jade facing her. I'm just like, all right. I mean, shout out to Tiffany, though, because Tiffany is 14-0 so far in defending her championships, which is crazy to think about because some of these other champions haven't even gotten into like 2 or 3 defenses. Like me and Kilt, you and I talked about this during the watch along too when we were trying to figure out how many times Io defended the championship since winning it in March this year. She only defended it twice, and on the second one, she got cashed in at Evolution. I was like, okay.
And I can't speak to Io Sky because I love Io Sky, and I think she should get the world. I think Tiffany has just shown that exponential growth since coming here, being so young, doing what she's doing, taking it as seriously as she is. I mean, to call the matches she's calling to work the way she's been working is incredible and speaks to someone that's going to be here for a long, long, long time. Like the other folks that are here, you know.
Which I love, but now I'm wondering where Jade goes, but I'm also trying to figure out where are we going with Tiffany, because so far post WrestleMania, Tiffany has defended this title against Nia and legendary Trish Stratus and Jade. So I was like, now who's on SmackDown we gonna give her to? Because I want to we haven't built anybody else up to fight Tiffany. So I guess that's what's going to lead us through the rest of the next 3 months to see where Tiffy goes, which sucks.
Send Rhea to SmackDown.
Well, when we get to night 2,
we'll talk about that.
Because with the report that WWE is quietly dropping, just kidding. We're probably not going to do a draft. I was like, if you're not going to do a draft, at least put people in different places.
Get rid of the draft. You don't need it. It's dumb. You don't even try to make it anything other than a TV show.
So we're not dumb. But let's move on, though, because we get into our semi-main event. This was a match that was 25 whole minutes. So this is our tag team match, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Leading into this match, we didn't know if Drew McIntyre was actually going to make it back into the country in time for this because he got stuck in the UK going to a wedding and he had his UK passport, but apparently that wasn't good enough to let him back into the country. So it's just like, well, this is America, as Childish Gambino would say. Anywho, okay. I'm gonna be so for real, and this is probably gonna get me in trouble. On paper, I was not excited about this because I was like, we could have had something else on here, but this is what we decided to do. Okay. However, I am not going to disregard or diminish the work that Jelly Roll put in to lose that weight to be in here. And honestly, I had a good time. I think what made me most mad about this match is, once again, and I say it all the time, cannot stand Logan Paul as a human being. But gosh dang, that athleticism in that boy is wild to watch. And I was like, I'm so mad that you made that frog splash look hella crazy and fun. I'm angry at you, Logan Paul. This was the sports entertainment match. I wasn't expecting like a 5-star classic. I ended up having a good time with this, but I was just so mad that Jelly Roll lost his match. I was like, Randy and Jelly lost his match. I was like, damn
it. I think that's a dumb choice myself as well. Unless Jelly Roll is here for the long haul, which they kept insinuating. They had a lot of shots at Travis Scott, didn't they? They talked about so much. They were like, all these celebrities come in here and they think they know what it's like, and they don't. And they last a while, and then they leave. And we've seen it for years. And they never said a name, and they kept saying celebrities. If you've been watching, you knew exactly who they were talking about.
I'm like, listen here, y'all. I don't know why we don't want to bring up past celebrities, but listen, Wade, I love you. But the fact that we were trying to downplay Bad Bunny coming in, I was just like, don't even get started, Wade. You know Bad Bunny and Johnny Knoxville and Stephen Amell are the 3 people that I put in as far as celebrity goes. Is like, oh my God, they are, and Jelly now too. Those are the only 4 celebrities. And you know what? I'll put Snooki in that list too, because Snooki actually did some training for her match. But I'm just like, we're not going to pretend that Bad Bunny was a bad celebrity person coming in. And Logan did the same thing. I was like, that man had a full-on match in Puerto Rico, and it is still one of my favorite matches in the last 2 years of this WWE product.
I agree, and I think that's the line they have to give themselves to justify Logan Paul being so good, right?
It's stupid.
They have to say, look at this celebrity who showed up and actually put the work in. Look how good he is. Or else we don't.
Drew McIntyre being a troll in this match, though, made me also very
happy. So good. The Jelly Roll lost 230 pounds to get down to 290.
Hell yeah.
299.
299 to just tip under the scale of heavyweight. Maximum heavyweight, depending on what promotion you're watching. I know I was ragging on him in the chat because I hated the promos going into this. I thought he was trying too hard. I'm not the demographic for his music. I'll say the thing I said. I can man up to what I said in the chat. For someone who's a convicted felon, man, he don't look like he can fight at all. However, he does. You seen him throw a punch?
I know. I'm just saying. Continue.
He's throwing punches like a duck trying to swim. He is. He runs towards you like, and it's like, no, man, no. All that being said, he's a tough son of a bitch, and he took some bumps in here that were ridiculous. He took a claymore right on the button. He took that ridiculous viral moment that Paul set up.
Frog splash from
that frog splash.
Book.
He was trained well, and he's remembering his training because he keeps he's covering the huevos and tucking his shoulders the whole time. Like, he was not going to get hurt. And once or twice, I was like, oh, dude, too much. Be kind to yourself. And then he went back in, and he took the pin. So everything I just said, still true. But I have ridiculous respect for what he did and how he did it. And hopefully he comes back. And maybe we actually see him do some cool shit. Because some of the things that he was pulling off was like, oh my God, look at you. Look at you. Okay. You're not here to mail it in. All right. It's remarkable that Randy and Drew kind of let these two do their thing. That shows that they have respect for these two, and they're probably getting paid stupid money, and they were told be nice to them.
Right. I was going to say that too, because this match was mostly like focused on Jelly versus Logan, and Drew and Randy were in the background to be support characters. They just needed one more person, and we could have had a whole entire Marvel versus Capcom fight where your 2 main fighters are on the screen, but then Randy and Drew are waiting for the assist moves.
Or you have the broken controller, and it keeps switching in the third character. You
don't
want. It's like, no, stop it. Sorry, going way back.
We love it. We love it.
Much respect for Jelly Roll for what he's doing and how he's doing what he's doing. Although I'm still saying he throws punches like a baby duck. He just can't quite. He doesn't know where his hands are, and he's just going la 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 la.
this was the sports entertainment match of night one, and I had a good time. As stated earlier, Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul beat
right.
Jelly Roll and Randy Orton.
Jelly Roll's, sorry, I know we gotta move on. Jelly Roll's overselling with that Clint Eastwood look at the end. Just, where am I? What am I doing?
We
the
love
match
it.
is still going. Like he went full 1960s film actor on it. Well done, kid. Well done.
He ended up so well, and I initially was not excited for this match, and then I saw his interviews. I think he had a couple interviews, then he had Stephanie's interview, and then he was talking about how passionate he was to do this. Like he wanted to do this. Like he was like, okay, I got my first taste, and now here I am. I want to be a wrestler. I want to do this. I want to learn this. I've been here in Orlando for 3 weeks, learning from KO, from Jacob Fatu. I've been learning, how to be a wrestler, and I've been losing the weight and trying to get it done.
If he gives it all up to do this, wow.
I mean, he might
awesome.
take a tour season off to do it, which would be. I won't fault him for doing it. I won't fault him for not doing it. But like, he has potential. I
think that I'm glad you said that because I think that's what's driving me crazy. Is oh my god, he's got potential to do this.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch Jelly Roll put people through tables than Logan Paul do viral moments. Like, show me that.
Well, I agree.
Take a boxing class, but other than that, like, do all this other stuff.
I think the crazy thing is looking at Jelly Roll and like the role he would fill in WWE, especially if we're gonna put it. I would say Jelly should go train at the Performance Center and get some time reps in NXT, which he's not above that either because he literally was at the NXT show and people were saying he was wilding out with the crowd. Like, man, to be in that building when Wesley and Javon Evans had that match last week, holy shit, that match is on my short list of matches of the year. Like, oh my god, those two went flying everywhere.
He needs to go talk to Al Snow and the veteran Jimmy Vaughn over at OVW and just get rocked for 6 months and then come back and be a beast.
Yeah,
he
real. And speaking of NXT, there might be a BC pod wrestle. We
might see a wild kill in the crowd.
There might be a wild kill in NXT sometime soon,
which would be a lot of fun. But yeah, this was entertainment. This was fun. I would love to see if Jelly Roll wants to continue, have him go to OVW, train for a little bit, spend some time in NXT. And I think he would fit because we really don't have any big, like, in terms of like the role of wrestlers, we don't have any big monsters in the sense where they're just going to slam people for wins. Like we had that in Braun Strowman, but he's not here no more. And we don't really have anybody else who does that at the moment. So,
I mean, it'd be interesting to see. He's got stupid money. He's talented. He can do whatever he wants. Right. I'm not the demographic for his music, but he's made his money, and I'm glad he's made his money. It'd be interesting to see. It'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Speaking of celebrities, though, I would be remiss to say because she didn't appear on night 2, but shout out to Miss Cardi B. I love Cardi so much.
Cardi B is great. She's talked for 4 minutes and never came back.
That intro from her was not the best. You could tell she was reading off.
What'd you say? Like, I jumped all over you, Kill.
She looked amazing, and I agree. She was there and then just disappeared.
Yeah, they gave her 90 seconds to talk, and she never came back as the host.
Yeah, my theory is because initially we were told that she was going to be hosting SummerSlam, but I think as we got closer to SummerSlam, I think they decided to change some things up. But the girl's like, all right, Cardi, I'm ready for this album in September. Love you, girl. All right, let's get into our main event of night 1, though, because this was 30 minutes. This was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther defending his title against CM Punk. This has had 2 weeks of build because Punk won the gauntlet match at the Monday Night Raw after Evolution like 2.5 weeks ago. By being the last person to enter and win. Braun Breaker ran through the gauntlet only for CM Punk to beat him. I digress. I'm not gonna lie. I already knew that neither one of these two was going to walk out as a happy person by the end of it. Punk not more so than Gunther, but so I had some time to reflect on it because at first I wasn't the biggest fan of this match, but then you know what? I went through it again. I think this ended up being my favorite match of night one before the ending of what happened afterwards happened. And it's still probably my favorite match as far as the in-ring wise because I think this was a really solid match in the sense that this was a wrestling match of endurance because we know that Punk can't go as hard as he used to. The man, listen, Punk, I don't know if you're not getting any sleep. I don't know if you're like neglecting your skincare regimen, but those puffy bags under your eyes, ooh, that was nasty. Punk, you need to talk to your wife, AJ Lee, to figure out what that skincare routine needs to be.
I mean, skincare, sure. It speaks to me like something else is on his mind and his body, right? And you just wear it. This felt to me like late 80s, early 90s.
I was going to say, yep.
Right? You could have played this in Europe and they would have gone, yes, that's what we do here. The catch wrestling sequences they had were super solid, super fun. I guess Punk's nose was messed up earlier in the week, right? That was the storyline. And then something happened and started bleeding. As I watched it, I thought Gunther's chops had caused blood on his chest.
I thought so too. I was like, oh my God, Gunther's chops broke skin. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time, but still.
He's popped the bruises of the tattoos are seeping. Like, what the hell? This was hard. They were hitting hard. They were doing everything they needed to do. Gunther played the I am the Goliath, you cannot beat me perfectly. CM Punk as the underdog still sells really, really well. There were a few sequences that they called on the fly. You kind of saw, you see Gunther calling it, you see CM Punk calling some stuff that all worked. This was great. Was it spectacle? No. Did it bookend the whole night really well? Yeah. Again, these are two pros who work really well together. They know what each other is capable of. I'm not saying this like it's a critique. Something was missing from this. I don't know if it was the 2-week build. I don't know if it was knowing what was a possible could happen. I don't know if it was he always gets screwed. Let's watch him get screwed. I don't know if it was Gunther's immortal. There was something about this that was missing for me, and I don't exactly know what it was as a fan. Maybe we could talk about it, and I'll go, yeah, that's the thing. And I'm sure you're about to talk about this. The blood sequence and how we got to that with Gunther was kind of terrifying.
It was. I was like, oh, this man hit something wrong because he was gushing. I was like, sir, you should not be gushing after 5 seconds of coming from that table. I was like,
he used a screwdriver to blade himself.
I was like,
whoa.
If this Austrian man stabbed himself with a screwdriver, I would believe it.
And I don't think it wasn't a work. Like he did the blading. He must have, right? We must be doing blood now. I guess it's okay to do blood now.
Sometimes, I guess, which is weird.
But commentary covering this up and being like, Gunther doesn't know what to do. He's bleeding his own blood. I was like, okay.
We know that blood comes out of you when you have an open cut. Commentary.
No one makes me bleed my own blood. Like
no one makes me bleed but me. I was like, all right, calm down. But you know, Punk for all of like 5 minutes and 13 seconds beat Gunther, became your new world heavyweight champion. Also, shout out to Drew McIntyre for being petty.
That's what I was gonna say. Thank you.
I had a longer title reign than Punk did. I win. I love that pettiness.
Tell everyone what happened. I'll be right back.
Go for it. So Punk beats Gunther. He's celebrating with the title. He's very emotional. He's crying. Like, we're all here for it. And then, of course, we hear the burn it down. And I'm just like, yep, saw that coming from a mile away. Paul Heyman comes out with Seth Rollins with the briefcase. Seth is on double crutches. And as soon as I saw the double crutches, I'm like, okay, I could see where this is going. So, and plus I didn't see a boot on there or anything. So Seth is wearing like the big ol' knee brace. You know, he's yelling, saying that Punk needs to enjoy what he has because he's coming for that title. Seth begins to hobble away. He drops the 2 canes. He turns back around. He unbuckles the knee brace. He takes the briefcase, runs down, and essentially this is Heist of the Century Part 2, in which Seth cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase after beating CM Punk to a pulp with it, hits curb stomp. Your winner and new World Heavyweight Champion as night one goes off the air, Seth the Visionary Rollins. And I was just like, okay. I was like, saw that coming. All right. So how do I put this nicely? It was just fine. I don't care. Like, I'm tired. Listen, I love Seth to death. I just wish that somebody else, because I already see this as Seth being champion. It's going to be probably Punk and Seth, which I was like, okay, fine. We're retreading, the beef that Drew and Punk had where they hate each other. So I was like, okay, well, because the story we've been telling with Seth is that Seth hates Punk's guts. He's going to ruin his life every chance he gets. And that's probably going to be the thing for a little bit. This also, and hopefully I'm wrong, but this also makes Rumble season predictable, which makes me think that Sammy is going to win the Rumble, and it'll hopefully be Sammy and Seth at Mania, which is cool. My biggest fear is that, well, especially after night 2, because WWE doesn't give a flying flip about what we think, apparently, that they would do Roman and Seth at Mania. I'm like, no, I don't want to see it again. I was like, we just got done with this like over the last 2.5, 3 years. It's more.
It's what TKO wants, right? It's what TKO wants, because they're signing these checks and they're doing these things. And we got a lot to talk about. You said an hour and 15, and we're up against it already. I think that I don't hate it. Half the internet was saying it's a work. Half the internet was saying it's true, it's real, it happened. So half the internet got it wrong. Half the internet got it right. Go. Go.
Okay, they both got it right and wrong at the same time. It was a work, but it also was real. It just wasn't as serious as originally shown until after. It was real up until after the promo that he cut it, saying, "Hey, this is what's going on." Oh, not the promo, but the announcement. They said, "Hey, I'll be out for the indefinite, blah blah blah, until we get more of this, more of that." And then after they got more, they just didn't really release anything. They just gaslit everybody. And I saw a post today saying that, I think this was sent into our group chat, that Seth told his daughter that not to talk about the injury to protect kayfabe, and she blabbed it to her teacher.
She told the whole preschool? Yeah, it's so
funny. And how that teacher didn't get that word out faster than anything is impressive. But
that teacher probably watches AEW and doesn't care.
But probably. But it was a work. It was great. I understand why they did the thing that they wanted to do, but honestly, they should have just let CM Punk have it for a little bit. Like, they should have just teased it, had him come back out, had him doing everything but go to the ring. Just to say, I can do it at any time now.
Yeah. And I think that now, and I hate to say this because this just makes it so predictable, we see the line of succession, right? Cena, AJ, probably CM Punk, probably then Seth or Sammy. Like, we can see the order of the next few years of folks either retiring or finding their way out or whatever else, right? Like, we could see that pipeline shaping up. Anyway, go, Mikey, go.
Yeah, so Seth walks out of night 1 as your World Heavyweight Champion. We will discuss how things are going to go Sunday, because Seth will be at Raw to address himself as new champion. We'll get into all that on Sunday. Let's get into night 2, because night 2 is a lot more fun to talk about because everything was ballin'. And we open up once again with the women's triple threat. Same thing, same verse, same verse as the first, so to speak, because this is what opened night 2 of WrestleMania, just Bianca instead of Naomi. But our women's world championship match, Naomi defending her title against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. To me, I love this match. This was not as magical as the Mania match between Io, Rhea, and Bianca. Naomi, it looked a lot of her waiting for like the first couple of minutes for her to do her stuff but then everybody got into it. This was still a lot of fun. This was a really strong match. And the thing that I was not expecting was Rhea to be the one to take the pin in this match, which was nuts to watch. I was like, oh my gosh, Rhea got pinned. That is crazy.
Great touch having her dad play her to the ring, Naomi's father.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was super cool. I know his name. I feel like I have albums with him on it, or that I've heard of him at festivals, especially when I was in Chicago. So I was like, I know who that is.
Sorry to cut you off, Professor. No, I have to say it. That literally it screamed Mikey and I that she was going to lose.
I thought Naomi was losing. I was like,
which is what I was calling for 2 weeks. I was like, they're going to screw her.
I'm like, oh no, they're gonna screw my hometown girl. No, don't screw my hometown girl. Yep. And they didn't screw my hometown girl. And everything I've seen since with the freaking little scooter suitcase.
Her scooter is ridiculously funny.
That was hilarious.
So funny.
I love heel Naomi. She's crisper in the ring. She hits harder. She's no BS. She worked great with these two. I do agree. It might have missed some of the spectacle compared to when Bianca was there, but they worked great together.
Agreed.
All three of them set, again, the women always setting the bar. This bar was incredible. Rhea Ripley looked incredible. She always works great with Io anyway. Like this is that close to being on my matches to watch again for the year, which is getting bigger and bigger when we get to December.
Seriously.
We have a match. This is right there on the cusp. There's one match that I chose over this one, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so this was a lot of fun. Naomi does retain here by pinning Rhea. So Naomi's next challenger is already set for her because it will be her and Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris, which should also be a really fun match. Cannot wait for that one in Clash in Paris.
Yes. Oh God, I'm excited.
Oh my God, this was amazing. There
were so many good moments, so many callbacks, and I loved it so much.
Speaking of which,
the only thing I didn't like about I'm going to say the one thing I did not like about this match was when it went off. It should have been switched with the cage match.
Honestly, like this should have been later in the show, but. Oh my God! What to say about this match?
Now knowing what we know, this should have closed the night. Come on now.
I mean, for real, but SmackDown continues to prove that their tag team division is in the best hands of whoever's booking it. Because oh my God, this 6-pack TLC match for the tag team championships was crazy. Everybody got some stuff to do. That Rey Fenix Andrade spot be like, forget a ladder. I'm going to stand on your shoulders to grab it. I'm like, oh my God, that would have been an epic way to win too.
He could have, though. If he had jumped, he could have grabbed the thing. And now, insane.
But there were so many good spots. Like the 4-corner dives into table spots with everyone doing things. Axiom doing a full Spanish fly with Dawkins for Ciampa to get out of the way. I was worried because there was not a lot of space with all those ladders and tables surrounding the ring. I was like, there's a margin forever. My MVP, though, for this match isn't any of these 12 men. Candice LeRae is my MVP. I thought, oh my God, I just saw someone die through a ladder. Oh my God.
I don't think that was a gimmicked ladder either. I think that ladder broke.
It was wild. And then,
Gargano just watching his wife and then still going for the belt.
They literally showed Gargano like doing the wrestler, hey, are you okay? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down situation. And she gave her the thumbs up. And then Tommaso and, Gargano later going through the stacked tables. And I was like, they overshot it a little bit. Someone's head went through it. Montez Ford.
Overshot. Sorry to interrupt. They overshot and they missed a table.
Montez Ford having the meme of the night where, his face was just like.
They threw, what's his name from the White Six, out of the ring and missed.
Oh, that was wild.
They threw him so hard they missed the ladder.
They missed the ladder.
And then they look at each other
back up and threw it
and they did it again. And Montez is like, let's do it again.
He was so stupid.
Andrade with the sunset flip into the ladder. Rey Fenix like almost lawn chairing himself on the barricade. Nathan Frazier, Tommaso Ciampa with that core strength. Though.
Oh my God, that was impressive.
That was amazing. I've been saying that for years. I thought they were going to redo. They did redo the Edge spear spot. He was there for a long time.
I was like, that's some core strength. I was just like
he's just dangling like, dude, can we get to this point now? Can I do the thing now? Oh. He's just not even trying to like go after it. He's just hanging there like, are we there yet? Are we there? Oh, now we're there. Finally. Oh God.
That core strength was crazy. And I was just like, oh, hey, Tommaso, what we doing?
Shoot. He could hold them positions.
This was awesome.
I mean, we could gush about this. We have all kinds of other things to talk about. This is on my short list of matches for the year. I don't have a lot of matches of the year on WWE because of reasons. But this was incredible. I know Andrew, our co-host here, does not watch WWE and has his reasons, and those reasons have been proven right lately. I hope he gets a chance to take a look at this because tag team wrestling on SmackDown is fantastic right now.
And the fact that the Profits and DIY and Motor City Machine Guns get to be a part of another, like, the best match that WWE has put on their product this year too, because that TLC triple threat after Mania was awesome. It was on my short list. This is also now on my short list, and it's fun that those three teams, with the addition of Rey and Andrade, Fraxium, and the Wyatts being a part of this. This was so good. No,
and we don't have time to unpack this here. There was a handful of internet folks who were upset that the Wyatt 6 came out with this.
I was like, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and they're going all in on like the Wyatt 6 aren't over. Nobody likes them. Fans were booing them at one point.
Like, I will agree with the one thing that was said. I was like, the entrance during the day does not hit the same. Like,
no, that's fair.
It does not. But
if you've ever gone to haunted house during the day, it's totally different.
I'm too chicken, but I'll be watching everybody else's YouTube videos during Halloween Horror Nights to see how the Wyatt 6 house in Halloween Horror Nights ends up turning out to be. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. But this was fantastic. And so was this match. Oh my God. I was not sure. Okay, I'm going to say this. The only issue I had is that we saw Lyra come out of the zip tie and then she had to get back into it. And I was like, girl, we saw that. It is what it is. I will say this. I need everyone to stop. We're going to stop the Lyra hate train here because I was like, if she did not win you over in this match against Becky, then you're just a pure hater. Like, we got to stop with the Lyra slander because I think she does this every single match she's in. She always wins the crowd over, but like, holy crap. Her and Becky did the damn thing in this match. Oh my God.
They're getting dragged a lot. And
same thing with Becky. We got to stop the Becky Hogan train too. Like, y'all are crazy.
I think that's some of it too. And I think it's just folks love to bag on women's wrestling. Like, that's just what they like to do. Unless Rhea Ripley's in it, then they go, it's perfect. It's like, hang on. She's had bad matches too. We've talked about them. I thought, I'm going to say this. I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily. I could have watched this on Raw.
I mean, that's very fair.
I could have seen this on SmackDown. And it wasn't bad at all. I liked seeing a toolbox come out. I think they could have used more tools from the toolbox. But we're on WWE, on Peacock, or whatever, depending on what you're watching on. So we're playing it a little safer than what we could have. I missed the zip tie thing initially, and then I caught it online when I was looking up something else during the match. Like, oh, she did? And then I went back and caught it. So I actually missed it. And then later on, I was wondering, why is she in those zip ties so tight? Those are really tight on. Oh, she redid them. Got it. So that was kind of my experience with it. Fire extinguishers are dangerous. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. There were a few moments the second half of this where I think, I'm going to say this will get me some hate. I think Becky oversold a few spots and did a little too much to stall moments so that Lyra could get into position for something else or lost her way with something else. Again, I'm just a bald dude on the internet. that took me out of it a little because I was like, hey, the pacing of this was a little off the second half. Candlesticks hurt. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that stood out to me. But yeah, the hate that they're getting, not deserved. I thought this was great. I don't know. I feel like if this could have closed to SmackDown, and I would have been like, yeah, they killed it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Go, Kilt, go. Kilt, say something.
Right.
Kilt, say something! I have to agree. It could have been totally a freaking SmackDown. It could have been a normal match. It wasn't PLE quality, but it was good. I won't discount their efforts. I won't discount their storytelling. It was a little boring, and there was a lot of issues. But yay.
I like the ending. I like how we got to the end.
Bailey does come out. Bailey does come out, and Becky's coercing her to hit Lyra as she's like neck in the chair. Bailey still does not turn heel. She turns babyface, but she still costs Lyra the match, accidentally punching her with it, allowing Becky to pick up the win. So I was like, here we go.
I don't hate that. Right. I don't hate that at all. I know Kill. I think Kill called that to a T, didn't it?
Well, we did. We all did. I think you were like, yeah, Becky's gonna do something, and it's gonna cost Lyra and not Becky. Not Becky. Crap, my brain just farted.
Bailey.
Thank you. The other the B name that ends with Y. Bailey's gonna do something to cost Lyra the match with Becky, and then we're just gonna have to figure out they're going to do with Lyra for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't think, and the internet's going crazy. Like, it's overbooked. It's like, that's the story we're telling. It's fine.
It's no DQ. What you want from overbooked,
DQ.
But
the stomp she took to the
Becky,
chair.
Oof. That was gnarly. Becky Lynch is still your women's intercontinental champion, but this was a really solid match. Very good. Hated it. Move on. This was so rushed. This was rough, y'all.
And we have other stuff to talk about. I don't want to rag on this too long.
The only good thing.
Is there what? Say it again.
The only good thing is the moonsault off the top of the cage after the match was over.
I don't know if you caught Nick and Nikki's show, but that's what Nikki was calling for. All I want is a moonsault off the top of the cage. And that's
what we all wanted.
We got it, but it should have happened during the match.
It should have happened during the match. I think they're gonna nerf Fatu the same way they did Solo, because now he's not gonna come off as the enforcer if he's always stuck in this mid-card purgatory thing. I did not hate this. The cameras were terrible. How do you cut away for Fatu breaking the handcuffs off the top of the thing? They cut away. He does it. Nobody saw it. He has to show the crowd and then chase down Solo. I like Solo crawling for the door. That's kind of a cool touch. Other than that, I could have seen that on SmackDown. That was a SmackDown ending. It is not lost on me that it's Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and then the tallest Tonga. Like, come on.
So, and I'm like, Big Jim, you did not help.
And then Big Jim getting destroyed. This is fine. It was a SmackDown match. And it didn't make Fatu look as strong as we liked.
It made Fatu look weak, and I don't like it. And the whole thing was just miss.
Yeah, so this was not my favorite match of night 2, and honestly, I'm gonna say it. This was probably my least favorite match of the entire 2 nights, which really sucks because I like Jacob, and Solo can be funny when you allow him to be, but this was not it. And I was like, for a steel cage match, this sucked. Anyways, we move on. This was funny as hell, and I don't care. I enjoyed myself. This
was great. I love this. This was so perfect.
This was so stupid. I love this match so much, though. The fact that AJ is literally like being... AJ, you're invited to the quince because rocking the Eddie Guerrero pants, coming out in the low rider with his son being blind and just being like trolling him like that is the Dom from 20 years ago. This match was so ridiculous, and I loved it.
Super fun.
So good.
They were great together. I love all the heel throwbacks. I think those are brilliant.
The final Eddie spot was just like, what the fuck do you guys do? Why is there a chair here?
That's so funny.
That was so good.
And then both of them realizing at the same moment that the ref's not going to buy it, so they just okay, and they just get right back to the match. Like okay. I think this was them just having fun, and probably backstage, like, you know, what'd be fun? Let's do this. Oh, let's do this. Oh, you should do the boot thing. Oh my God, we can totally do that. Like, that's how it came off to me. It was like, as someone who's written comedy sketches and done it.
Oh my God, I'm glad they did the boot thing. That was perfect. So
good. And then showed us after the fact that what the boot thing is what we thought the boot thing was. Like, oh my God, that's great. No, I've heard no one rag on this one. Is the internet angry about this one? I thought
not really.
Everyone kind of loved the spectacle of this. Everybody wants that car. That car was pretty.
That car.
Oh yeah, that car was flawless. I like that a lot. It literally. The funny part was, you know, AJ could have made it look like he wasn't trying to rip the boot off a little bit more. It could have looked like he just was actually just trying to keep the ankle lock in and keep the pin, and it wiggled out instead of him yanking on the fucking boot. But this was start to finish just so good. It was such a good match.
It confirms that they're probably going to make Dom double champ, which is
probably
cool.
Yeah. I would not be surprised in 2 weeks if he walks out as AAA Mega Champion.
Yeah,
because it's a fatal 4-way, so we'll see what happens. But this was fun.
I was happy to be wrong about this one because I had a good time.
This was a good time. All right, main event time. Street fight. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. This went on for 45 minutes. And, I mean, we could have cut it down a little bit, but I'm going to be real, you guys. While I not necessarily forgive since the John Cena heel turn and how piss poor that we have treated the heel run, this definitely screamed, we're gonna forget about the heel run, you guys. It's bad. So here you go. And I was like, all right, well, you done messed it up because now I don't care about this match. By the end of it, I was on my feet. I was like, damn, John Cena, you still got it. And now it makes me even more sad you're retiring at the end of this year.
I like John Cena the heel by the end. I thought it totally...
Let me rephrase. I think character-wise, I liked it, but they booked him for shit.
They bailed on him, right?
Yeah.
And they hit the eject button.
Which is why he called him out on SmackDown. He went, I thought I was all of this. And then everyone left.
Exactly.
So thank you, Cody. Yeah, if The Rock stuck around... If he had some kind of faction or whatever, if Travis Scott didn't turn into Travis Scott, whatever that storyline was, if he actually had a little bit of whatever around him, if it was, I think what started to happen, sorry, not to unpack all this, those last few weeks, it was just, I'm John Cena, I'm going to be a dick. When it started, it was, I'm John Cena and I hate you. And that vitriol he had, he just kind of lost that momentum and had nowhere to go by the end.
Yeah, because there was nothing. It was like, oh, we're supposed to have this whole faction with The Rock and Travis Scott. Then Travis Scott didn't work out because he didn't want to show up. And then it got to a point where it's like, what are we doing here, really? And are we actually going to actually appreciate this heel turn? No, we're not. Because it's just, it was pandering at best. And it was not even used properly.
Well, and I like the first 3-4 months of it were like, damn, he's speaking truth and nobody likes it.
It was great. Wow. That was great. I hated it, but it was great.
Yeah, these last 2 months.
The Post-Mania was really rough, you guys. Post-Mania, when he won the title, was rough.
That's where I think that was the jump the shark, like, okay, what are we doing?
It was the situation of, oh, we'll tell you next week. We'll tell you next week. We'll tell you next week. And then nothing came out of it. And they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to do whatever then. Fuck you.
And then I think it's, Mikey might know better. I think it's Fightful or somebody else came out because John Cena was commented on or quoted as saying that he's a company guy now. he's just kind of doing what they say, which I don't buy because he's doing all kinds of stuff off script that,
I'm like, Cena, you are retiring. Let's be real. You probably have more sway than you're leading on, but it is what it is. But damn, this match was a lot of fun. We could have cut it by like 5-10 minutes, but you know what? I had a good time with it. The camera shot of him coming up with the like fog machine up through the Cody Vader was awesome. We got confirmation it wasn't AI, but I really love Cody's entrance with the voice of Dusty. I was like,
it was or wasn't AI.
It was not.
It was actually a promo that Dusty Rhodes cut, and because I remember having this. I remember hearing the conversation about it, and it was perfect. It was flawless, and it was great. And I'm like, that was the way to start this match, and it fired me up. I wanted it.
I may have
John Cena's basically been sandbagging and mailing it in since he got here, and then all of a sudden went, you know what? By the way, I'm just as good once as I ever was, and just does it.
What pushed this over as probably my favorite match, because I love me some TLC Carnage, but what pushed it over the edge was not only these two working really well together and like doing cool things. John Cena, I didn't know that a Canadian Destroyer was in your repertoire. It's like,
right? Yeah.
I was like, he hit a Canadian Destroyer. I was like, say what?
He was putting out stuff that I had a lot of fun watching this. I don't think it needed to be 45 minutes, because you're coming up on the end of a 4-hour epic adventure.
Literally.
Now Cody has somewhere to go. The fans are mad at Cody. They were chanting at the pile driver, right? You can't do that, or some of the other stuff they were chanting.
He's like, watch me.
There's something else I can't remember. You would know. There's something awesome he did somewhere in the middle, and then everyone booed him for it, and he looked at the crowd like, why are you booing me?
Cody's right. He's like, listen, I know I'm not like everyone's favorite, but damn y'all, this was a really phenomenal match. Cody ends up winning and regaining the undisputed WWE Championship. The embrace, like literally watching a passing of the torch moment from Cena to Cody made me tear up a little bit towards the tail end. I'm like, And so Cody leaves. He is our champion. Cena is left in the ring. The crowd is like, thank you, Cena. Cena looks like he's about to cry too. I was just like, my God, we could just go home right here, and this would have been the perfect night 2 and probably my favorite pay-per-view. But then it would have. And then we're far enough in, and then WWE fucked it all up.
Yep.
So, just going to put this here really quickly.
Oh, here we go.
Because this is going to get spicy a little bit.
Here we go.
So, Cena is celebrating. I was just like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because we're still here. The logo the credits have not rolled yet. So I'm like, Lord have mercy, what's about to happen? Uh-huh. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits, and I'm like, this was me. He's not in the same promotion, but Kyle Fletcher was my mood. Kyle Fletcher was me. I was like, are you kidding me?
I agree. I was like, there was no reason for this. And Triple H is throwing. God damn, that is you. Glasses and all. And the freaking Triple H is throwing Cena under the bus, saying it was all Cena's idea. It's all Cena's idea. No.
Okay. So, all right. So let's get this out of the way, and then I'm going to chronologically try to put in the last 24 hours, and then we can have this big old discussion and the implications and all of that, because I've had some conversations with some other people in the wrestling community, people that we follow, as well as some other BC WrestlePod hosts, and so this is going to be interesting. So Brock Lesnar's music hits, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, Lord, why is he back? This is wild to me. I mean, he walks down, he circles the ring like shark with blood. Cena is preparing himself. Brock Lesnar throws off the cowboy hat, gets into the ring, F5 Cena for his troubles. And this is setting up Lesnar and Cena as we are now in the final fourth of Cena's retirement, because we have him until December. And now that he's no longer champion, he's going to be facing other people off of, the list or whatever. And Brock Lesnar's one of them. Brock Lesnar beating up Cena is how this goes off the air. And once again, I'm just going to I was just like, really? Okay. So that is how we went off the air. But oh no, the internet decided that it still wanted to catch on fire after this as the night went on. So I'm going to word this carefully because I don't want to give too much away. I also am not trying to start fires on the internet, but we're going to anyways. Am I surprised to see the response to the way that some people in some minority / majority, whatever you want to call it, of wrestling fans, literally kind of somewhat defending this choice for WWE? No. And again, I vibe with all types of different people. But I would like to quote one of my newer favorite TikTokers out there on TikTok, Johnny, wrestling content. I think he summarized it very perfectly that this is beyond now. Right now, it goes beyond just a wrestling issue. Whatever issues I have with Brock Lesnar, the wrestler is the thing. But now it's turned into a human rights issue kind of thing and the legality of what he's being tied up in. So I have a full 20-minute video coming out on Wednesday that breaks down the lawsuit and talking about the legality and morality issues that come with it, as well as why fans are defending it and breaking it down psychologically. I'm getting empirical on you peoples. But I will say this. It is 2025, and the fact that the biggest defense in all of this is like, oh, Brock Lesnar is here. That means it must have not been that serious, or he's been found not guilty or innocent until proven. People, I'm internet. I need you to come to the carpet real quick because I'm gonna put some education on y'all dumbasses real quick. So just hold up. So, number one, Brock Lesnar right now is not involved in a criminal thing. This is the lawsuit is being put up in civil's court. So two different things. Criminal law states that somebody has to be guilty beyond a burden of beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's the legality of it. But, all that civil court needs is a preponderance of evidence, which means that there has to be enough of circumstantial and things like that to make a case and to make a decision on all that. I break it down further in my video on Wednesday. But the defense of people saying that, innocent until proven guilty, I was just like, that's, again, I'm using spicy language, so please forgive me and bear with me. That's a fucking cop-out to this whole situation. I was just like, you are using that as a tool to shut down any type of dialogue. And yes, can it get messy if, the public court of opinion is making it hard for Brock Lesnar? Possibly. But because it's the public court of opinion, this is one of the only tools we as a society have to be able to comment and to voice our opinions. By you saying and telling people that, innocent until proven guilty is basically you telling us to shut the fuck up and stop complaining about it. And I was just like, you're just as bad. It's basically telling me, even though I'm not directly involved, it's the same thing. And I equate it to you telling the victim they need to get over it. And I was just like, no. And this is my thing. Some other things that come up is people are like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I was like, that's the same thing as not speaking up about it and not saying anything. I was just like, it's a lose-lose situation here. And I was just like, it is 2025. And for the wrestling community to still be able to get on their high horse and for people to get on their soapbox and to bypass the horrible shit that Lesnar is allegedly, because this is not a criminal case, this is a civil thing, he's not being sued directly. But him knowing about it, if that's the case, is still just as bad as him partaking in it. There's a reason why he's being sued in civil court, and there's RICO charges and everything, you guys. This is so batshit crazy to me. The fact that WWE has the cojones. Actually, no, I'm not surprised they had the cojones to do this shit. But, it pisses me off so bad because I was like, you're making it really hard for me to want to, I'm going to continue to watch because let's be real, WWE makes a lot of good content in terms of us discussing it. But I'm not going to, I'm directing it to certain people who have already let me know in direct messages or other conversations privately. I'm not going to name names because I'm not that type of person. But I am going to be damned if you're going to bully me off of this platform and, dismiss any opinion that I have, because I had to listen to this type of bullshit for 32 years. As somebody who has seen a direct effect of the similar situation that our plaintiff in this lawsuit is going through, in my immediate circle of influence, I might add, watching the fallout and the blame shift and the victim blaming and all of this is some bullshit. And the fact that you're going to sit up behind your keyboard and say that there's nothing wrong with this, you are absolutely out your goddamn mind. I said I was going to be coherent with this, but fuck all that. I'm so fucking pissed with this whole thing. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, how the fuck can you call yourself a human being? Like, what the fuck is happening?
I love to fuck around and find out, Mikey. That was beautiful.
Yeah, me too. I love that. It was really good. Go, Professor, go.
Oh, me. That's amazing. I mean, I don't need to take up too much time. I agree with everything that Mikey just said. It's absurd that you don't get both. You don't get innocent until proven guilty, and we're allowed to send people to a third world prison just because they look different than us. You don't get both, right? You can't, and folks love to defend WWE as much as they can because they get some sort of nostalgia out of it or whatever. And we've seen it time and time again with all kinds of things. Folks will drink that Kool-Aid till the end. I do personally, this is my conspiracy theory thing, I do think Triple H is stuck between the last throes of a McMahon regime and TKO. The people who bought it want their early 2000s superstars back. That's what they've pushed for. That's what they want. Those are the contracts they're getting. They wanted The Rock back. They wanted John Cena back. Now they wanted Brock back. They wanted their shows in Riyadh. They wanted all these other things, and they're gonna. Triple H is gonna kneel down and give it to him. Like he's that's what they're gonna do. It makes it hard to watch. I'm already having a hard time with the polish on the commercialism of a lot of WWE stuff, which is why I prefer another promotion that I watch now.
Yeah.
And this just, like we said in our group chat, this is just one more like, man, you really don't care about others. You do a tribute to Hogan, and then a week later you give us this. You are on the wrong side of history.
The fact that all of this has happened within the span of like 2 weeks coming off of Evolution 2, I will just say this. I was just like, damn, this women division, they really don't give a shit about y'all. I was like, holy shit.
It's obvious they don't.
I'm like, and Hunter, you're making it really hard for me to want us to continue to like you, because I was just like, the shit that has gone on the last 2 weeks, I was just like, all right, Triple K, calm yourself down. Like, pump the brakes.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, Triple H was nailed it, shifted everything, and we were like, all right, we're on to something. A TKO deal and whatever else happened, and now it's trying to save face, and there's just a money-making machine.
It's crazy.
We have other. We're up against it. I don't want to delay it. You mentioned it beautifully, and I'm very excited to see your recap video, which you had mentioned that you had made.
Yeah, listen, it's a 20-minute video. It will be up on Wednesday. I am going to send it out to the hosts and everything. Great. I'm not asking for, you guys can share it if you want, but I want you to actually give it the time and sit down, because I would like some feedback. Okay. But I'm hoping that, again, I try to keep it positive around here, but I'm also, as somebody who is part of a POC and marginalized community in himself, and again, this hits home for me too, because again, without mentioning who, in my immediate circle of influence, I have seen the fallout and the victim blaming and the gaslighting and the get over it type of shit, and I was just like, nah, it ain't gonna fly with that. Tune in Wednesday. All of you in the comments can rip it apart. I honestly do not give a fuck. I'm gonna be so for real. I do not care.
I think this could be the thing that poisons the well and starts to split a locker room.
It really can.
And I'm not saying it's the end of Rome, it's the fall of the empire, but this is the kind of thing that creates that cancer in an organization, it's already there. We hear about the fractures, Chelsea Green. We hear about these things, and the demands on them to not say things, and then the fans crushing them for saying anything. I think this might start to. It was an incredible gift they just gave AEW.
I mean, a lot of content creators, like I will name them, like Mr. Gaijin, and then like even, you know, Best Gout Machine, all of them be like, hey, you know what? They didn't bash on WWE. They're like, these are places where you can watch all these other promotions. And I was just like, I also go into that in my video too. It's just like, you are allowed to invest your time and your emotions into a company that actually does right by people.
Yeah.
Like, it is fine.
So
I
was a young student who I met doing a show, who I go back and forth with on Instagram every now and then, and he checks on these every now and then. And he had said just a week or two ago, I love this art. And now 2 weeks later, his post was, they keep doing this to me. Why do I watch?
They play in our faces.
He was defeated. And he's the young demographic. He's a young they, them who's like, you know, I love this and they do this to me all the time. Maybe I'm not watching Cody anymore.
Yeah. Again, stay tuned for the video on Wednesday because I break everything down. It's more coherent and not emotionally charged, but we're done talking about this. That is how SummerSlam Night 2. Overall, despite that, I still had a fun time with SummerSlam these 2 nights. Again, there are reports that WWE and TKO are looking to make all their major Big 5 pay-per-views into 2 nights. So we already have a 2-night Mania and a 2-night SummerSlam. They're possibly looking at a 2-night Survivor Series and a 2-night Rumble and a 2-night Money in the Bank. And I was like, no!
Rumble could be 2 nights. Leave
Rumble
everything
can be.
else alone.
Men and women can be on separate nights. Love that.
But then I want to give me a 90-minute women's Rumble and a 90-minute men's Rumble. Don't be stupid about it.
For real. But that is going to be it for the SummerSlam review. We did it. It was about an hour and a half, so love that. Before we go and me getting into the remainder of this week, let's bring up the Predictions League graphic. After a 2-night SummerSlam, kind of ending the summer season for Predictions League because we've been going since May. So I count the May as the summer. So we've gone through Backlash, Money in the Bank, Night of Champions, Evolution, and SummerSlam. And this is where we sit after a full summer season and with 3 more seasons to go. Sitting in last place is Kilt with the overall record of 18-16. Sitting in second or third place is the Professor, 21-13. Minnie got hosed during SummerSlam because Professor, you're only 1 point behind him. In second place is Minnie with 22-12. And thanks to my 8-4 predictions for SummerSlam, I have jumped in the lead to the record of 25-9.
Only one better than the rest of us.
Hosed at Evolution.
Evolution, you got hosed, dude.
God,
dude. You got hosed. So,
ouch.
I have now jumped into the lead for WWE, but who knows? That might not be the case by the end of our Predictions League. I will also say that currently I'm in first for AEW, but Professor's close on my tail. And Will is beating me in TNA. So Will is currently leading to the TNA Predictions League. And I think Will is also leading the NXT Predictions League too, which is wild. So, but we have fun here. This is going to be fun. But we're about done for the evening. Last bit of things I got to do is to preview this week. Tomorrow evening at 6 p.m., you can join the All Elite Ensemble review. So myself, the Professor, JVL, and our newest co-host, Benny, will be talking about the final week of AEW Dynamite and Collision in Chicago, as we're now back on the road and we are building up towards Forbidden Door. Then on Wednesday, you get a double dose of reviews. The NXT crew will be here to review another NXT episode. And then later in the evening is our CMLL review, where we have a new CMLL Light World Heavyweight Champion in the form of Maxwell Jacob Freeman. You got to tune into that review to figure out how that came to be. Then on Thursday, myself, Andrew, and hopefully Adolfo, we are going to be heading across the pond, so to speak, as we will be reviewing the 3 shows that GCW had in Japan. So we will be reviewing GCW in Japan. So 3 nights, chaotic matches, so much fun. Friday is our TNA review, as we are 2 weeks away from Emergence, which is the next pay-per-view for TNA. We're getting a women's championship match between JC Jane and Ash by Elegance, as well as an international championship match between Steve Macklin and Jake Something. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's on Friday. Saturday, there's an MLW Blood and Thunder watch along, and then we wrap it up on Sunday with our WWE Raw and SmackDown review. It's getting crazy, y'all. We did it. So for WWE, we are now on the road to Clash in Petty. So hopefully the crowd brings it, because that New Jersey crowd was better on night 2, but night 1 was not it for me, Jersey. Not it for me. So, but that's going to be it.
Those were all the Fairweather fans. All the real fans came on Sunday.
Yeah, night 2 was definitely better crowd engagement. But that's going to be it for us here at Wrestle Watch. I'm excited for a week of wrestling with my fams. So until then, this is Mikey of El Jefe of BC WrestlePod signing off for the evening. But as always, remember to take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you later this week for a multitude of goodness and reviews. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until tomorrow's AEW review, peace.